Hello students. Yesterday we have completed up till the discussion of inflorescence in chapter 2, that is sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Today's objectives that we have to cover in this video are difference between racemose and cymose inflorescence, types of racemose inflorescence, types of cymose inflorescence, and of course special inflorescence. So starting with the topic, on page number 55 we'll be starting with this. It's clearly given in your book, the difference between racemose and cymose inflorescence. As we have done yesterday, that racemose inflorescence, the main axis never ends in a flower. It's given here as a second point. It never terminates into a flower. While in cymose inflorescence, the main axis ends in a flower. Yesterday I've shown you the diagram also. So in this, it implies that the main axis is of unlimited growth, while in this the main axis is of limited growth. Here it could be branched or unbranched, while in cymose inflorescence it is usually branched. Now in case of racemose, the opening of flowers is centripetal. Now the word comes centripetal, that applies, it is always from periphery towards the center, means the outer flowers will open first and the inner flowers will open later. In case of cymose inflorescence, the opening of flowers is centrifugal. When we use the word centrifugal, that means it will start from the center and it will proceed towards the periphery. So proceeding ahead with the types of inflorescence, we are having here the first type, that is racemose inflorescence. Now in racemose inflorescence, according to the length of the axis, we have yesterday discussed about peduncle or rachis. So from here only, with the first one is main axis elongated. When I am saying main axis elongated, it is having four subtypes: raceme, spike, catkin and spadix. Now we'll discuss each one of them individually. Here, as the diagram is drawn, it will be more clear to you. In raceme, the main axis is elongated and it bears stalked flowers. When I am using a word stalked, it means pedicel is present. We have already done, pedicel is a stalk-like structure with which the flower is attached to the main stem. So here all these flowers are stalked. Example here I have specified, that is mustard. Now here the numbering is given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means this one, the first one, it is the old flower, and the sixth one, which is near the tip, it is the young flower. So always we are mentioning it is acropetal succession. Acropetal means the flower which is at the base or near the base will be the one which is the oldest flower, and opening will be again centripetal, as it is racemose inflorescence, means the outermost flower will open first and the innermost, means the top one, it will open last. Now talking about spike, it is like raceme. We are talking already, we can compare the diagram, but the difference is over is here in raceme flowers it is stalked, while in spike it is sessile flower. And here we are having the example, that is Acaranthus. The word is Acaranthus. Now talking about the second one, it is third one, catkin. In catkin, I have mentioned here, it is similar to spike. All these are what? These are the types of racemose inflorescence. It is similar to spike. The difference is in the presence of long pendulous axis. Word used here is pendulous. I have given the meaning of pendulous here, that is hanging down loosely. Basically the flower here are unisexual. We have done in our first video, uni means one, sexual means sex organ. So flowers are having either the male or the female reproductive parts. Example for catkin is mulberry. In local language we call it as shatut. Now the next one is spadix. In spadix, the diagram is clearly indicated here. Now you can note it down from here. I have shown male flowers, the female flowers are born here, and it is having peduncle. Peduncle means the main axis bearing the flowers. In case of spadix, it is a spike with fleshy axis enclosed by one or more. Spathy word is used. Spathy means bract. So here the one or two spike with fleshy axis enclosed by one or more large bracts, which are known as spathy. Now in this the example is colocasia, or we can even talk about banana. Now the next one is main axis shortened. Earlier we have done main axis elongated. Now it is main axis shortened. It is on page number 56. The first type is corymb. The word is corymb. In this, the main axis is short. We can see this. The main axis is short. The flowers are stalked, or pedicels are of varying lengths. We can here see this is the pedicel, and here the succession is again the same from outer to inner side. This is the oldest flower and this one is the youngest flower. Example is candy tuft. It's given already in your book. Now we'll continue with the topic. So the next one is umbel. Now there are two types of umbel. One is umbel only, the other one is compound umbel. So the diagrams are clearly visible. In case of umbel, it has a very shortened and a suppressed axis. The flowers, they are having stalks which are of equal length. Means basically they are having the same length. The flowers are born at the same length, and the oldest flowers, again the oldest flower is near the base, as it is racemose. So, and it is acropetal succession. Example of umbel is Indian pennywort. Now the other one is compound umbel. In compound umbel, it is a more common type of inflorescence in which each flower is replaced by an umbel. We can see here I have drawn individual umbel. Here we can see this is the main axis and it is showing three umbels, so it is called as compound umbel. And this main axis bearing the flower is called peduncle. And the example is coriander, that we call as dhania. Now we will discuss main axis flattened, another subtype of racemose inflorescence. Here we are having only one type, that is called head or capitulum. Now when we are talking about head or capitulum, here you can see I have drawn the diagram to clarify the same. Now in this, the main axis, it is compressed, or I can say it is flattened, and along with it, it is forming a convex surface, and we call it as receptacle. We have already done in the first video. Receptacle or thalamus is what? It is a swollen cup-shaped structure present above the pedicel. Now the arrangement of flowers. Flowers are basically stalkless. Again, stalkless means sessile. Sessile flowers in which the pedicel is absent, and they are arranged in centripetal order. Centripetal as the main term associated with the racemose inflorescence. Centripetal means the arrangement is the opening of the flower will be from outer to inner side, and here acropetal as well as centripetal, and this is the oldest flower, and in the center it will be having the youngest flower, and along with it the best example for this is sunflower. Proceeding ahead with cymose inflorescence. Cymose inflorescence we have already done. In this, the main axis ends in a flower. Here we are having three subtypes. One is monocasial cyme, another one is dicasial cyme, and this third one is multicasial cyme. Mono, again we'll break the word. Mono means one. So here we can see the main axis terminates in a flower, and a young branches they come off from one side of the parent stem, and each lateral stem, or we can say a branch, ends in a flower. I've arranged them as 1, 2, 3, 4. So first one is labeled as oldest flower, and the one which is near the base, it is labeled as youngest flower. Example are begonia and cotton. Next is dicasial. Di again means 2. Now in this, a cyme where lateral branches develop on both the sides of the terminal flower. We can see these two lateral branches, they develop on both the sides of this. This is the terminal, labeled as 1 is the terminal flower, and each branch terminates in a flower and the pattern repeats, means it keeps on increasing in this way only. Example is jasmine. Next one is multi-casial sign. In multi, M for multi, M for many. So we can see here the main axis ends in a flower which is labeled as a terminal flower and gives off number of lateral branches, each terminating into a flower. Already discussed in cymose inflorescence. I have labeled here 1, 2, 2. All these are lateral branches which are arising from the side. Example is calotropis. Now we'll continue ahead. We'll discuss about the special type of inflorescence. In special inflorescence, we are having three basic types. One is hypanthodium. The word is hypanthodium. In this, the main axis forms a cup-shaped structure. We can easily see here. And this cup-shaped structure will be called as what? Receptacle. Other name of receptacle is thalamus. With an apical opening, means at the apex, at the tip region it is having opening, and it is having two types of flowers arranged inner to it. Flowers are present on the inner wall of cavity enclosed in a cup. And here we are having two flowers. The one which are labeled in the center, they are known as male flowers, and the one which are labeled on the side, they are considered as female flowers. I have drawn individual structures to clarify the same. The male flowers, they are present in the center, and the female flowers are present on the boundary. Now, the next one is cythium. It is cythium. In this, the cup-shaped structure is formed by a bract. The word is mentioned here. There is a single female flower. We can see here on the page number 57. It is the example of cythium. In cythium, we are here talking about the flower. The single flower is of female flower, and number of male flowers are present, and these male flowers are having only one stamen each, or I can say it is having a single stamen. Example is euphorbia. Now the last one here in this row is verticillester. The pronunciation will be verticillester. Now you will note down this definition, it will be much more easier for you. It is a special type of cymose inflorescence in which there is a cluster of sessile flowers. Word sessile means pedicel is absent. Okay, and the flowers are borne on a dicasial sign. Dicasial sign we have already discussed. In dicasial sign, we have shown this diagram that the main axis ends in a flower and it is having lateral branches which are again terminating into a flower. So it is verticillester. Ending in a monocasial sign in the form of a condensed word on either side of the node. So in this video we have discussed from page number 55 till 58. So you all will read page 55 to 58 and solve question number 4th, 9th part, and you will do it on copy. And please refer to the following link once the lecture is completed. Thank you and have a good day.